All right, Bucks win, Bucks win, Bucks win, and what a win this was to start the season. A game that, for a moment, it felt like it was a disaster early on. It then felt like it was going to be, a win that we were going to handedly have. It then turned into a disaster. It looked like it wasn't going to happen, and then it looked like it was. Then it looked like we were going to overtime. Ton to unpack in this football game. Where do we even start? Let's just go. Let's go chronologically through this game, talk about everything that happened. We'll talk about my thoughts on the players, what this means moving forward, all of this stuff. Early on, so before the game even started, there was a surprise where, we all kind of thought, okay, Tristan Wirfs is out. They'll probably put in the backup left tackle and then kind of keep everything else the same. Instead, they completely shuffled the lines. Graham Barton was a left tackle in college, but he moved to center, which isn't something you usually see. He was kind of a unique prospect in that regard, but he goes and plays left tackle. They shuffle a lot of people around, and early on, it just did not look good. I mean, they were not doing much of anything in the run blocking game. Bucky Irving there wasn't anything he could do to try and generate anything. It was just a bit of a disaster. Ultimately, that got better. But for the first couple of, it still wasn't, the running game wasn't great. It just wasn't. But it did get a little better. Ultimately, you have that. You have the, Bijan Robinson getting that big touchdown play, losing Cervanka Dennis, who we will talk about in this video. We will touch more into that. But yeah, early on, it was looking rough. Finally, it felt like the Buccaneers just got going. Baker Mayfield was able to make some tight window throws. He also, in this middle section of the game, really put the ball in harm's way a few times. And that's something that it didn't hurt us in this game, but had a couple of those been picked off, we're viewing this as very differently, right? For Mayfield, listen, and we'll talk about the ending where it's all forgiven, but those are the issues. I really didn't think he played horrible outside of that. There was a moment later on in I believe this was early fourth quarter, if I remember correctly. Mayfield, basically, the Falcons blew a coverage. Cade Otton was wide open down the field. Cade Otton goes to finish his route. Baker Mayfield assumes he's then going to see the blown coverage and run deep down the field and make the catch that way. Ultimately, both are fine options, but you have to know which one your teammate is doing, and unfortunately, it was an incomplete pass. The broadcast thought he just missed it, which I don't know how you make that mistake, but it was clearly a miscommunication, and that really cost the Buccaneers. They could have had a touchdown to put them up 11. Instead, they had to give the ball back to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm kind of blowing by it, but we can just get into the ending of this game a little bit. I mean, the ending was insane, right? So there's that crazy drive. The Falcons have a long drive where I thought Michael Penix played very well. Also, listen, I'm wearing a Buccaneers jersey. If you want an unbiased opinion, you can go elsewhere for that for this game. Did not like a lot of those penalties. Some weak roughing the passer penalties. One that helped the Buccaneers, two that hurt the Buccaneers. But they both were on that drive. Did not love the defensive holding penalty there on fourth down. That gave them another opportunity. But ultimately, whether I like them or not, you got to still make the plays, right? And that's just it. And the Falcons made the plays. Really tight stuff there on that fourth down. Michael Penix made a great play. The Falcons take the lead, but you still have a few minutes left. And Baker Mayfield, for all his faults early on in this game, putting the ball in harm's way, the miscommunications, there's few players you'd want more in a 2-minute drill with the game on the line than Baker Mayfield. And he was just perfect in that moment, right? He was just so good. Also, his rushing earlier on in the game was a big part of it, even though the passing game wasn't working. His scrambles, he was the leading rusher in this game on either side. His 39 yards, Bucky Irving had 37, Bijan Robinson had 24, Tyler Algier had 24. He had more rushing yards than any other player in this game. And those throws, the Emeka Egbuka catch was the big one, right? That was a beautiful throw. And yeah, Egbuka, hey, young guy's pretty good, huh? That's a pretty good way to start your first NFL game, to have a go-ahead touchdown with a minute left. So, incredible stuff. Chase McLaughlin, didn't love those misses. I'll be honest, didn't love those. Special teams was good outside of that. Cameron Johnson had that awesome, return, but gotta make those kicks. The 48-yarder, okay, you'll miss the occasional 48-yarder. Can't miss that extra point, and it really probably should have sent us to overtime, right? Atlanta has another drive. Penix is making some good throws. It's tough. I mean, Penix is playing well. They get into field goal range. The Buccaneers were punching back. I mean, it really was a slugfest. It felt like the Buccaneers would make a good defensive play. The Falcons would make a good offensive play. They get into field goal range, though, and then miss the field goal, and the Bucs win. I mean, hey, a win is a win, and ultimately both, if kickers were perfect, the Buccaneers would be +4, and the Falcons would only be +3. So it would still work out in our favor either way, and kickers are a part of the game, right? You got to make those field goals. Both teams come away saying, like, man, we got to make those plays. Where do we go from here? I mean, one thing is this is a huge win because I think Atlanta played pretty well, and they might be pretty good, and we got to make sure we can get a divisional win early on against them. Obviously, last year, that kind of happened against us. The Falcons chuck twice against us, and it took us a lot of time to be able to finally overcome that, right? So getting that win is huge. We need Tristan Wirfs back. That's one of the big things. Tristan Wirfs, we felt his presence not there. It disrupted both the running game and the passing game. And, he won't be gone for too long. This will be a situation where you will get Tristan Wirfs back before too long. But ultimately, that's a bit of an issue until that happens. It'd be nice to have Godwin back as well. Although I like this receiving core. Even Sterling Shepard, let's give him a shout out. Baker Mayfield threw an interception that Sterling Shepard just knocked out of the defender's hands. That's a huge play. Those are things you don't think about when the game's over. But if that doesn't happen, this is a different game. So yeah, that was very good. Ultimately, they need to get more balance. They need to get the running game working. Maybe that's a Liam Cohen thing. I'm going to be more inclined to believe it's the Pro Bowl left tackle missing with the entire offensive line shifted. I think both can be true, but I think that's probably the bigger factor right away. So, Liam Cohen's very good. Defense, some issues. First off, Zion McCollum, catch the football, man. You played well in this game. Catch that ball, though. He had 2 dropped interceptions. One was going to get called back anyway, but the other one, come on, catch and even it looked like Jamel Dean had a chance at one as well. Get these corners into near a jugs machine or something. They gotta finish on these. Again, Atlanta Falcons fans are saying the same thing about their defenders. Defenders could not catch in this game because there were plenty of turnover-worthy plays, but no turnovers there. Antoine Winfield with the play of the game, right? I thought that was going to be a touchdown towards the end. He comes out of nowhere, knocks the football away. Unbelievable play. Even if it's a caught, it's probably going to go out of bounds. And then, chip shot field goal, and now we're in overtime. So making that defensive play is huge. Levante David is Levante David. Jacob Harris showed up. Edge rushing was fine. It was not what you wanted. Hassan Reddick did have a nice third down sack. You would want a little bit more, especially because Atlanta has a backup tackle in there, but it was okay. I'm not mad at this situation. Only 1 sack, but Atlanta also was getting the ball out of their hands, pretty quickly. There were definitely some plays though where it just felt like there too much time for Michael Penix. And it's hard. You got to contain him, all that stuff, but would like a little bit more. It was better than last year. Would still like a little bit more. I don't think that's crazy to say. For defense, honestly, the defense played well throughout the course of the game. I know the last 2 drives put a sour taste in our mouths. The defense played fine for most of this game. My biggest criticism right now is Servoka Dennis, who ended up tying for leading tackles with 7 total tackles, 4 of those combined. But still, sometimes that's tackles are a misleading stat because ultimately you get thrown out a lot and then you make some tackles, and he missed some tackles. I mean, the 50-yard Bijan Robinson play, he got stiff-armed by Kyle Pitts. He did make some plays. I actually thought he played really well. Once he got benched for a little bit, he came back in, and I thought actually played much better from that point. Again, you're playing next to Levante David. You don't have to be a superstar. Just do the fundamentals. Make a tackle when you can. Guys are you're going to miss Bijan Robinson every now and then, right? I can't crush you too much, but that was an issue, and that was a big part of how Atlanta was attacking us in those key spots. And would have liked a little bit, again, I don't know, because it took 7 plays inside the 5-yard line for them to finally score. I'm not going to get crush them too much for that. Would have liked a little bit more pushback on the drive, the missed field goal drive, but ultimately, defense was okay. I was hoping for it to be great. It was not. Defense looked too close to last year's defense, just a little bit better. Which, hey, a mediocre defense and this offense, when healthy, could be a great team. And they got the win against a good Atlanta Falcons team. I thought the Falcons, their defense looked way better this this game than we saw it look last year, and Michael Penix continues to put up good games. He misses some throws, but like for the most part, he continues to play well. So I do not think this division is locked because of how Atlanta played, but winning helps a lot, especially when you're playing the Texans Monday Night Football. They're a good team. Got to find a way to, if you can win that, now you feel really good because you play the Jets, who actually were surprisingly good week 1 as well. So we'll see how it goes. But hey, Bucks win. Bucks win. Bucks win. That's all I have for this video. If you're new here, I make one of these after every Bucks game, win or loss. So usually it's going to be around a little bit earlier. I had some issue with copyright claims on previous videos that I uploaded, so I had to kind of fix those. Took me a little longer to get this out, but yeah, I'll have one of these every week. Usually about an hour to an hour and a half after the game, maybe a little bit earlier if I can. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Buccaneers defeating the Atlanta Falcons. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.